Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the videos.
Hello friends, welcome to Ganesh IAS Academy. This is the new session exclusively for the upcoming mains exam. So here what we are going to do is, we are going to discuss the previous year economy mains question. When it comes to the mains, there are only two kinds of answer writing. One is purely a creative way of answer writing. Another one is about learning certain things, updating certain things factually. Okay, it's like mug upping the things and you have to reproduce it in the exam. Okay, but the issue with first one being a creativeness is, you can give an answer for 15 questions like that, but you can't address all the 20 questions. So that is the major concern when it is when you are going in the first strategy, being creative. But when it comes to the second thing, it is like a safer zone. So in that zone you can easily answer, address the every 20 question, and you can get an average mark of for every 20 question, and you will be in the list of candidate for interview. So this is the advantage in the second, if you are going to follow the second strategy. But if you need to score an extra mark, means you have to do this both the things. Consider that for 10 questions you can go with first strategy, or and then for a 10 question you can go with the second strategy. This is the another way. So this will boost the mark of your exam. So here what we are going to do is, we will discuss about how to address a question, how to structure a question, what are the introduction you may give, what are the conclusion you may give, and also whether you can incorporate any diagrams, whether you can use any flow charts. So all the things will be discussed here. This will be more useful for your upcoming mains exam. Okay, so let's begin the session. So the discussion is about, first is understanding the question. If you are correctly identify what the question is asking you, means at that moment itself you are going to score a half a mark of that question. Okay, so if it is 10, means the maximum mark they will be giving going to give you is around 4 marks or 4.5. But in that, if you are correctly identify what the question is asking, means at that moment itself you can able to score around 2 marks. Because most of the issue with the aspirants is, they know lot of data. When it comes to the questions related to any poverty, means they know lot of data and they just dump it on the question. That is the major issue. You have to know that what the question is really asking. First, if you are able to identify that, means that itself more than enough to address a question. So understanding of the question and also what the question it needs. So maybe based on the jargons, like critically examine means the answer will be different, or else command means the answer will be somewhat different. So it will be depends on the jargons that the UPSC mains question is going to have. So that is also more important one. Next up, data need to be incorporated. So before going to the mains exam, you need a set of data, which means about the poverty, and then about how many percentage of the people rest in the informal sectors, how much GDP contributed by the manufacturing sector, and then agriculture sector and the service sectors. So there are a lot of data that you have to be more updated, because that is the only thing going to help you in the mains exam. You can use it in the introduction, or else in the body of that answer, because that will give the add-on to your answer. Because everyone know the answer, but only few able to clear the exam. Means the reason is they know the data. You can say that India is being like this, there is this much of poverty. Without the data you are going to say anything, means it is purely a criticism against the government. So you have to go with the data. Okay, International Labor Organization report says that India has this much of unemployment. So these are the data you have to incorporate. So global hunger index say that this much of people going to a bed without a meal. So these are the data you have to incorporate in your exam. That will give the boost to your marks, because everyone knows that in India there are huge unemployment, and also there is a jobless growth, and also there are many issues, societal issues also there. But if you are going to give an answer without any data, means then it is like a purely a criticism against the government. It is like a layman just commanding over the government. This is not the mains. Okay, so when it comes to the mains, means you have to be more with the precise data. That is more important. That is the first thing you have to do. The homework for your mains is you need to have a data. First, take the syllabus of the mains exam. Okay, gs1, gs2, gs3, in which history, geography, so and then governance, polity. So you just list down the what are the terms they used in that syllabus, and you subdivide the terms. Based on the terms, you just to try to get a data for it. Okay, so when it comes to the unemployment, inflation, and also forex reserve, how much the India is having. So such a way you have to try to incorporate all the data. You have to memorize that. When the question is needed, when the question is asking for certain data, means at that time use that data. Don't dump the data without, if there is no need for using that data, means don't use it. That is also one of the most important thing, because you know lot of things, but uh, just because you having the data, you just dump it, means the examiner won't impress by your answer. Okay, that will create the irritation among the examiner. So it's better to use the data wisely. Okay, that is the most important thing. Next most important thing is structuring the answer. What does mean by structuring? Means the point should be in a priority manner. Okay, which means what are the causes for the okay, let's put it a question like this. India have a high infant mortality rate, or else India have the low child sex ratio. What are the reasons? Means first of all you have to give a data. First of all you have to make arrangements of points in a priority manner. First major thing is, it is there is a issue of the societal norm itself against the woman child. So this is the order you have to follow. Okay, just don't put up an answer without any priority, means that won't give any validation to the answer. So it's better to prioritize the points. First point should be this, second point should be this. So in such a way you have to structure it. Structuring is the most important thing, because if any person, any aspirant able to clear a prelims and he is getting into a mains, means he knows something. He knows something about the Indian society, he knows something about the polity, economy, geography, everything. In such a scenario, how you are going to be just unique from that person, means it's because of using the structuring of the answer. That is the most important thing you need to follow. And the most important thing is, at last, conclusion for the question. Most of the aspirants will do the major negative thing is, they know they will give a good introduction, they even give the good subheadings. There is also important for there is a more importance of using the subheadings, because the subheading also more attractive manner. That is also one of the major important things you have to follow. And also even they will use the flow charts, they will use the diagrams to represent certain answers. Like they will draw like this. It is speak about the advantages, disadvantages. So these are the one way of giving an answer in a more attractive manner and a creative manner. This is a one of the innovative thing. Okay, so or else you can use it like hexagons. to give a points. So these are the certain things you may incorporate it, because it will give the some extra marks, because it will make the examiner to easy to read the points. So that is the benefits. So you can use this thing or this thing, or else use the triangle. So anything you can use it, or else you can use it as a seesaw. So there are many way of presenting the answer. Okay, so structuring and also these things are also important one. Okay, so most of the aspirants will do all the things, but when it comes to the conclusion, they just leave it, or else they will give a point of, so based on this we have to do this, so based on the suggestions the government may consider that. So these are the certain things they will do, because when it comes to the conclusion, they will run towards the second question. They are more focusing towards the second question, not to conclude this question. That is the major issue done by the aspirants. Don't ever do that. If you start the question, means from the introduction to the conclusion, you need to follow the every rules. Most of the aspirants will have a thought that for a conclusion there will be around half a mark. It's better to start with my next question. On that next question means I'm going to score around 4 marks or 4.5 marks. So why I need to focus on this conclusion? These also the thought process you will have. Please eliminate that thought process. Conclusion also one of the most important thing. How you are concluding the issue. That is also the examiner will watch you. Okay, even though the conclusion have a lower mark, but it will, based on the conclusion only, they will judge you. So that will have the impact in the second question. If you are going to start a question, means within a 30 seconds you have to think about the what will be the introduction, what is the body of the letter, and in that body of the letter what are the things you are going to use, what are the subheadings you are going to use. If you have any plan to use any diagrams, means how you are going to use that diagrams. So at the same time you have to think about the conclusion. Within the 30 seconds you have to process all these things. Afterwards only you have to just pen down your answer. So these are the most important things you need to follow. If you are going to make all this thing, means definitely you will going to give a better answer. So the thing is, everyone able to give an answer, but the major thing is how your answer is going to be unique, how your answer is going to be a selling point. That is more important when it comes to the mains, because in mains everything you are going to do is going to benefit you, because that thing is going to give you the rank. Whether you are going into the any cadet or which service you are going to do, everything will be decided in your mains answer. So it is more important to have certain creativeness in your answer. That is the more important thing. And also structuring is also one of the more important one you need to follow.